Hello there, Internet. I'm Jeremy Parish from 1UP.com, and today we're going to look at the import version of Bravely Default, Flying Fairy. Oh my God, I can't get the name right, and it's a natural sort of confusion. I keep wanting to call it Bravely Default Final Fantasy, which I think was the intent, because this is very much a Final Fantasy game, despite the name. It's also probably the most gorgeous game on 3DS to date, at least in terms of hand-drawn art. Look at the city. You enter, and then you start walking. Oh, and it zooms in. It's really great. I love the visual style. This game is really taking me back to the PlayStation era of Square Enix games, well, SquareSoft games, things like Legend of Mana and Saga Frontier 2, where you had these beautifully rendered hand-drawn backgrounds with either hand-drawn sprites or polygons on top of them. It's really very much a game in that style, and in terms of mechanics, it's absolutely a Final Fantasy game. It's called Flying Fairy, I guess, because when you bring up the menu screen, there's this little chick down here. Her name is Aria or something along those lines. And basically, she's your fairy companion who tags along with your party, one of your party members, Agnes. And she kind of serves the same role as Stella in Dragon Quest IX, except she's not nearly as annoying. And anyway, I'm a couple of hours into the game. I have a party of 3, and we can check it out and kind of see how the basics work. At the very top, you have the job menu, because this is basically the sequel to 4 Heroes of Light, except less of an NES game and more of a PlayStation 1 game in terms of inspiration. But you're very much kind of drawing from those same influences, the same classic Final Fantasy skill set and bestiary and everything. And if you look, yeah, he's a white mage, and the other job I've unlocked is monk. Check that out. He looks exactly like Ashley Riot from Vagrant Story. I love that fan service. And then the third class I have available is Supin, or freelancer. You level up your characters according to experience in battle, but also job points, and you get new skills built into your classes as you gain job levels. You can also buy skills like magic spells and that sort of thing. So right now, the main character Tiz is my white mage. Agnes, who's the fairy's friend, I guess. She's the wind priestess. She is a monk. And then finally, the latest addition to my party, he just tagged along. He's a freelancer because I need someone who can, use a wider range of skills. He came with a spear that was kind of cool, and none of my classes right now can use spears. These classes work exactly the same way as they do in Final Fantasy. With the monk character here, Agnes, I have her unarmed because if you, exited out there. If you take away her weapons, she becomes much stronger. If you put armaments in her hands, then she becomes weaker. All the skills, cure, poisona, blindna, that kind of thing, they're straight out of Final Fantasy. The music is wonderful. Over here, there's a party of enemies that I can't actually get to yet. I have to work my way around to them. But one of them appears to be a black mage, so by defeating him, I'm sure I will gain the black mage job ability, just like I did with the white mage and the monk job abilities. A little bit of a loading time on this game, but it's not too bad. Anyway, so when you go into battle, it's a hybrid kind of a Final Fantasy and 4 Heroes of Light. It's turn-based. And at the same time, it has that kind of 4 Heroes of Light emphasis on kind of passing along turns and choosing. It's kind of hard to describe, but choosing who you attack and when to wait on an attack. So the game is called Bravely Default, and the reason it has that name is because these two menu options 3 and 4, are Brave and Default. And Brave allows you to take 2 actions, which uses a battle point. If you don't have battle points, then you go into a deficit and miss a turn. But you can choose to default, which is basically defend, and you'll gain a battle point. As you can see, Tiz just gained a battle point, and Agnes just gained a battle point. And again, I'm going to have Ringabel, the last character, default, and he will also gain a battle point. So everyone misses a turn, the bad guys attack, they get a free turn basically, but since they're defending, they don't hit as hard as they might normally. And now that I have battle points saved up, I will choose Brave, and that allows you to take double actions. So everyone is going to take 2 turns in one round and wage double attacks on the orc leader there, the gray orc. Okay, I've chosen my commands, and everyone will play out their actions. See, look at that. 2 hits. Yeah, that's totally like classic Final Fantasy, multiple attacks per action. And these pig guys, I'm pretty sure the orcs were the same orcs that you got in 4 Heroes of Light. So you can definitely see the connections there. But the battle system is much different. You can actually choose which characters you attack, and all the actions and turns are not automated. But anyway, it looks like Ringabel has been poisoned, so I'll use the ability, the White Mage ability, Poisona, to purge him of poison. Meanwhile, I'll have Agnes just simply attack the orc, and I guess Ringabel should attack too. Why not? So as you saw, the orc there just went into default mode, which means he's defending and takes less damage. It also means that he can now choose to use a brave attack and take 2 actions. See, he has... Oh, let me see where that is displayed. He has... There we go. He has a battle points saved up, so if he wants to use a brave attack, he'll be able to launch 2 actions at me, and I won't be able to do anything about it. You might think you could do kind of the same thing, wait till a bad guy is almost dead and then take a brave turn to really speed things along, but actually your brave points carry across from battle to battle, which means that if you end with a deficit, you'll enter the next battle without being able to move, and the enemies will get a free turn. You can also carry over a ton of battle points to future battles if you want, so if you want to stock them up for a boss fight and take quick actions, you can do that. Anyway, so as you can see, it's very... oh, I gotta level up for Ringabel. As you can see, it's very, very much a Final Fantasy kind of game. Oh, you don't want to see me back there. Yeah, let's switch that. Okay. So again, everything is kind of a combination, a hybrid of 2D polygonal graphics and 3D graphics, and it just looks really great. And it plays really well, too. It's like I said, very much the 4 Heroes of Light, but with a lot of the things that people found really annoying, like inventory limitations and parties being split up, at least so far that I've seen, and indirect actions in battle having been cleared out. So it's much more of your classic Final Fantasy sort of game. Anyway, it's really, really solidly made. The question is, will this ever be localized to English? And so far, Square has not announced it, and I can possibly see why it might not come here, because the game features lots and lots of voice text. Every cinematic event is completely voiced, which is a very expensive and time-consuming localization process. And on top of that, I don't know, look at these characters. They're kind of cute. I don't think Americans like cute. So, I don't know. The portable market's not as healthy here as it used to be. So I think there is a real possibility that it might not make it to the U.S., but that would be a real shame, because from what I've played so far, just a few hours, this is very much a true classic Final Fantasy kind of experience, very PlayStation-ish, and it also has some pretty cool social features which I haven't really been able to explore, like being able to street pass with people and people who own Bravely Default and summon them as enemies for, or summon them as espers for... What the heck? Oh. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. That's a bad idea. Some of them as espers in battle. Anyway, I'm losing my train of thought, and it's tragic and heartbreaking. So I am just going to end this now by saying this game looks great, and I hope it makes it over to the US. And if it doesn't, it will go down in history as one of those, aw shucks, we should have gotten it kind of moments.